But you were staying at the house of
Yes.
a convicted sex offender.
It was a convenient place to stay.
But that definitely wasn't you getting a foot massage from a Russian girl in Jeffrey Epstein's house.
No.
Trouble at the Palace. And no, we're not talking about the latest season of The Crown, Brad. We're talking about the fact that viewers and critics are still reeling after this excruciating BBC interview that Prince Andrew did about his relationship with sexual offender Jeffrey Epstein. First of all, Brad, I want to know what you think about the fact that people don't seem to know if the Queen did or did not approve this interview.
Well, early on, it was the Queen had given it the green light, because the Queen has, according to my UK sources, has been supportive of Andrew. She believes him and everything like that. But now reports come out to the BBC where the Queen nearly blew her tiara into the sky over London when she saw the interview. So maybe she didn't green light it as we thought. He may have just gone on and did it as one of those stupid things that Andrew does.
Yeah, and I mean, is this the conduct becoming of eighth in line to the throne?
Do I regret the fact that he has quite obviously conducted himself in a manner unbecoming? Yes.
Unbecoming? He was a sex offender.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm being polite, in the sense that he was a sex offender.
In your opinion, there's been a lot of talk about his tone. Was he authentic or defiant?
And once on his private island in a group of 7 or 8 other girls.
No.
Well, he was an authentic jerk. So I guess you can say that he was authentic, and he was defiant. You have to remember, Andrew has a long history of hanging out with shady characters, dictators, rogue businessmen. So he would find nothing. He's a very entitled man. He would find nothing wrong with hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein, whereas any sensible person would say, oh, geez, why are these half-naked 15-year-olds running around my 60-year-old pal's house? Apparently not Andrew.
As it were, I kick myself for on a daily basis, because it was not something that was becoming of a member of the royal family. And we try and uphold the highest standards and practices, and I let the side down.
So what ultimately is the fallout from this interview, do you think, for Andrew, for the royal family?
I think the family will be okay, but Andrew's reputation has been torpedoed forever. I mean, there are no pictures of me with 15-year-old girls, in party mode.
I'm glad to hear it.
There is, yeah. So, I mean, what could he have been thinking? He's clearly a man with something to hide, and the FBI would dearly love to pick away at his carcass and find out what it is.
I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat, or I didn't sweat at the time, and that was, yes. I didn't sweat at the time.
And obviously one of the fallouts has been that a lot of the charities that Prince Andrew was in charge of are now feeling the effects of this interview, and going forward they may be victim to what he said in that interview. One of the biggest mysteries, Brad, is whether or not Jeffrey Epstein in fact was murdered or committed suicide. What are you hearing from New York?
Well, generally, the word is that it is so stinky. I mean, everything around this guy has been stinky for years. And his guards falling asleep on a man who's supposed to be on suicide watch, getting in there to whack him would be troubling and difficult, and there's lots of things to say, lots of buts in there, but we're not done with this by a long shot.
Absolutely. I can't wait. Well, I can't wait, but I'd like to know what's going to happen in this case. Let us know what you think on our Twitter and Facebook accounts, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel.